Hi guys, it's your girl Rachel Design, live here at Lone Star College-CyFair. Today we're here to attend the coffee conversation in college. I'm so excited to be speaking on that panel today. So join me here and we'll see y'all in the next video.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Coffee Conversation Transfer Talks. My name is Frederick Phillips. I'm the student transfer student advisor here at Lone Star College.
My name is Felicia Daines. I am the manager of career and transfer advising specialist. Her name is Cynthia, and she's our specialist 3. So when the new transfer center opens, you guys will be able to come into the transfer center and do your appointments from there. I know right now many students go to the front counter, but she'll be kind of the face of our transfer career center. We won't only be doing transfer, we'll also be talking about careers. So you'll kind of get the best of both worlds, but that's who you'll be signing in with, who'll be then signing you in to see our amazing transfer lead advisor, Mr. Frederick Phillips.
Thank you. So let's give ourselves a round of applause. You just gave. Thank you. Okay, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're just going to introduce the panelists here. Okay, we're going to start from my right, your left, first chair. This is student advisor David Alacozer. David Alacozer attended Lone Star College as a part-time student while working full-time. After completing his associate's degree in science, he enrolled at the University of Houston downtown to pursue an undergraduate degree in disciplinary studies. Upon completing this undergraduate degree, he earned a master's degree in education from Sam Houston State University. Currently, David is working toward a different program to further his education. That's David Alacozer. Let's give him a hand, please.
Hello, everyone. So I want to say that I'm not one of those traditional students. I didn't know what I wanted to major in. That's why I majored in disciplinary studies, because I had a lot of credits. I wanted to do some science, I wanted to do something in the medical field, education, a lot of stuff. So I had a lot of credits when I left Lone Star. So I think when I left Lone Star, I had about 90 credits or something like that. It was a lot, more than an associate's degree. But I was a part-time student. I didn't know what I wanted to do, what I wanted to major, until, when I got to that finish line where I was close to graduation, and they're like, hey, it's time to graduate and leave Lone Star. What am I going to do? So I decided to attend one of the transfer fairs, like one of those transfer fairs to visit all different types of universities and stuff, and try to figure out what kind of major do I want to get into. I had a lot of credits, spent a lot of money, spent a lot of my financial aid here. So I went to UHD. I didn't have the best GPA, guys, so I was just ready to just transfer and move on. So UHD worked really well for me because I still had to continue working, right? So traditional students now, they have to work and go to school. So I continued working while I was going to University of Houston downtown. I woke up almost every day at 5 o'clock in the morning to beat that traffic, because Houston traffic is bad. So I left from my house and drove to downtown every day. So I had classes in the morning and drove back like around 2 p.m. or 3 p.m., go to work at Walmart. So I did that for about 5 years. It hit me when I graduated, guys. When you had a big graduation in my undergrad, it felt like, wow, this actually happened to me. It was amazing. So my moral of the story is never give up. Continue going where you guys are going. Your road will take you in different journeys, okay? But don't ever stop. Keep on going. If you know you see that prize, continue going and get that prize, okay? Yeah, that's my story, okay?
Thank you, David. Thank you. Okay. All right. So we're going to.
I have a question, sir.
Yes.
David, do you plan on getting a PhD?
Yes. Oh, I forgot that. I left that other part out. After when I completed my undergrad, I went to go get my master's. So I went in education. I wanted to move up. I wanted to do a lot more things here at Lone Star because I work at Lone Star. And you know, when you see administration, they have like that doctorate, right? Dr. Jones, Dr. something, right? So yes, I want to continue to get my PhD, and I'm still searching for a good program because I still need to be working and find a program that's online or something like that. I might go back to SAM because I did my master's program fully online, but I need to find a program because you have to be a good writer when you want to get your PhD, okay? So, yeah, that's my next level.
Daniel, how did you balance everything between work and school?
Oh man, it was rough. It was really rough because I want to say I'm kind of lucky because I had my family support. You know, they were the ones who pushed me through. I was first generation, you know, and my parents didn't know nothing about education. You know, they were the ones who they worked really hard. They had to work double, you know, but they're the ones who encouraged me to keep on going, don't give up, guys. And so my balance was, I had to cut back on my hours at work, and it wasn't, because I enjoy those big old checks, right? I enjoy those $1,000 checks every 2 weeks or something, but I had to cut back because I had to do some sacrificing, you know? I helped a lot at home, and a lot of students do help at home, but you know, you have to cut back and continue to working on yourself to improve yourself. While you're improving yourself, you can help a lot more. Once I did my master's, a lot of opportunities opened for me. Even with my undergrad, a lot of opportunities were open for me. That's how I got this job at Lone Star. But you gotta find that balance, time management, that's the main thing. Time management is a big thing because you're gonna be pulled left and right. You're gonna be like, you wanna do this, you wanna do that, but you gotta find that time management with families, friends, work, and school. Definitely school, yeah. Yes, sir.
How do you like, what tips do what do you do like whenever you have like extra things going on in your life that have like substantial, you know, effect on you while you're in school, not like school?
Yes, good question. I got stress. Yes, stress, I think a lot of people can handle stress really well with anxiety and everything, but I had to find that balance. It was, a lot of responsibilities were on me at home as the oldest, and I just had to find that balance really well. And let me go back to your question again, was it?
Like whenever you have like external things, you know, like going on.
Yes, you gotta find a plan. You gotta plan that stuff out. Yeah. What is the most important thing to you? You know, what's gonna be, if I do this right now, what kind of effects that's gonna happen to me later on? So you gotta find that balance. You know, if you gotta skip a party, if you gotta skip a birthday dinner and stuff, you know, there'll be other ones, but you just gotta find that balance. You gotta find that time, that priority to put your time in your studies, study very well, and you know, because all that other stuff will come along.
Okay, second panel is my right, your left. In the middle is Treen Jarvis. Treen's journey started at Lone Star College, North Harris, home of the Hurricanes, where she received her associate's degree in liberal arts before transferring to SFA. She is a proud graduate of Stephen F. Austin State University, Action Jacks, with a bachelor's degree in communication studies. Treen Jarvis is also a graduate of Abilene Christian University, Go Wildcats, with a master's degree in conflict resolution and reconciliation. Treen is currently the Texas field representative for Southern Illinois University, Go Dogs, and also serves as an adjunct faculty member in 2 disciplines for Lone Star College Houston North from time to time with Path of Pride. Treen hopes to encourage students by meeting them right where they are. Treen hopes to inspire students by pulling out the best in them and then helping to equip them for the future. If you didn't know, the month of April has been coined Move More Month by the American Heart Association. There is a Chinese proverb that says, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. So let's keep moving. Treen Jarvis.
If you were on DJ, I would have you drop that DJ on, walking out, I'm saying it right now. But yes, hello, how y'all doing today? Good, good. Okay, y'all gotta talk back to me. This is like church, so long as okay. But yes, okay, so my journey started at Lone Star North Harris. And back then, the classes were actually, if you didn't test right into college level, you were in classes that weren't called developmental at the time, they were called remedial. And of course, they've since changed that terminology. And so it's interesting because I always struggled with math, so I started in math 0306, which if you know anything about that, you gotta kind of go through 0306, 0308, 0308, 0310, and then college algebra, 13, 14. So it's interesting, and I'm gonna kind of make my point in that in just a minute. But what I would like to say about my Lone Star journey, back then they had these different, I guess they were called pillars. Get connected, make a plan, stay involved, et cetera, et cetera. There's one more, I can't quite remember what that is. And so I can say that my Lone Star journey really helped me with everything that came after that. I feel like that's where a lot of my foundation got laid. Because I was able to, one of the things I participated in was a program called TRIO. And then you might be familiar with that. So in high school, I was a part of Talent Search. Hey, shout out. And then in college, I was a part of SSS, which is Student Support Services. And that right there is really what helped me. I got to become really cool with my advisors. They were the ones who really helped me figure out, okay, what school am I interested in transferring to? I had a few schools that I was kind of thinking of, and they told me apply for all of those. Don't just stop for the one.
That's right.
You know, at the time, $40 to get you 10 schools to, apply to. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. But when one of my advisors challenged me, hey, if you get a chance, go and look at those college campuses and see. And I did, and I got to, and they afforded me several opportunities. If you're not familiar with TRIO, okay, we need to talk about some of that. But I was able to go and be at a lot of these different campuses, and I'll tell you what, it's true. Like the one that really just set in for me was at SFA. It was something about being on that campus that felt right. So if you're thinking about where you want to go next after your Lone Star journey, I'm going to encourage you, if at all possible, go visit some of these campuses. And you might feel it like, oh no, this ain't it. You know, everything is about vibes nowadays, right? So if the vibe isn't there, okay, you might know that's not necessarily for you. But just something to think about, okay? And TRIO afforded me that opportunity to go for free most of the time to visit these campuses. Just saying that, yes, they are on Lone Star campuses. But anyways, I digress. Being connected is the point. Also, I was a student worker. I had a work-study job. That helped open a lot of doors because I got to meet a lot of the full-time staff, and I'll get to that in just a minute. Because getting to know them and just kind of having that relationship with them helped pay off later on down the line. Dropping some gems for y'all. Because see, I mean, I'm sure you know, Lone Star has multiple campuses, right? There's like 7 main campuses and then different satellite campuses. So you know what me and my best friend used to do? We would get online to try and figure out, okay, you know I'm not good at math. And I'm looking to see the teachers at North Harris. They saying this about that. What they saying over there at Kingwood? You know, what are they saying about this particular teacher at CyFair? We carpooled and we did what we had to do, so it was not uncommon for us to take classes in one semester. Maybe 3 classes were at North Harris because that was closest to us, and then we're jumping over to Kingwood or CyFair to take an extra class because that particular teacher had such good reviews. And let me tell you, it makes a difference who your teacher is. So if you hadn't thought about doing that, just a thought. I don't know if they can still do that for it nowadays.
Yes,
You can? Okay, listen, you got to do what you have to do, okay? Don't be shy. Do what you have to do and make it work, okay? I know, look, D might stand for diploma, but that doesn't help you when you're trying to get prerequisite courses. I'll get to that later. But that made a big difference. And so when it was time for me to transfer, I got my associate's degree. I was able to transfer. Stephen F. Austin, sorry. I know you're, I forgive you. Sam Houston, it's okay. But that was a good experience. The TRIO actually helped me to land a scholarship. There are transfer scholarships out there available for you all if you did not know that. So, take advantage of that. Matter of fact, on one of the questions I hope we can answer later, as far as something that you didn't know that you would do differently, that is some scholarships, and we'll get back to it. Being able to go on to SFA, I felt like Lone Star really helped prepare me because I was kind of familiar with, although there were things I was like, okay, this is new, this is kind of concerning, a little nerve-wracking, but I feel like I had a pretty good foundation, because I knew, okay, maybe I need to get connected. So what's the first thing? One of the first things I tried to do, go ahead and get me another student job to see, and that helped me. Being able to meet different faculty, meet different people, see what they were talking about, let them know what's going on. I'm telling you, connections, it says sometimes it's not about what you know, it's who you know. It really helps make a difference. So I'm going to encourage y'all, don't be shy. Get to know these people. Get to know Mr. Phillips. Get to know Ms. Cynthia. All these people, y'all, I'm telling you, it helped. But okay. But here's what I will say, going back to making sure you know these people. I'm going to just tell y'all straight up. I feel like God was very fortunate to me because before I graduated from SFA, I had a full-time job waiting on me right back at Lone Star North Harris because somebody I knew. And they were like, so when do you graduate? And what you getting your degree in? I told them, it was like, all right, we might have something available. Make sure you stay in touch with me. You think I did it. Okay. All right, you know what I'm saying? Let's not forget the recession wasn't too far behind me back then. I'm dating myself, that's all right. So yes, and let me tell y'all, so that last semester for me, I had a pretty fortunate situation, and it allowed me, I drove, before I graduated, so I moved back to Houston, and I would commute once a week from Houston to Nacogdoches, okay, to finish that last class, okay? Let me tell you something. You do what you gotta do. We hustle by any means necessary, okay? But it helped. It made a huge difference for me. And so being able to have that opportunity really opened up some doors for me later on. The biography goes on to tell you that I got a master's degree in conflict resolution and reconciliation. I'm legally able to mediate in the state of Texas, but the overhead cost is another story. I hope to get back to that. But for somebody who started off in remedial classes, y'all, your girl graduated with a 4.0 in her master's degree. I'm very proud of that. Yes, But I'm just saying, so don't think that, how you start necessarily, dictates how you finish. So that's one of my encouragement pieces to you all as well. Because what I want to say is just to you all that you're sitting here trying to think about what you're doing now, what's coming next. I also want to share with you that something that I wish I would have done differently if I were to look back on it, it was not just settling for the scholarship that came to me. If I knew what they had available then, I would have gone out and done a lot more. I would have been more proactive because free is better, okay? It makes a difference. And there are scholarships out there, so don't think that you have to settle for just what comes to you. And there's a lot more coming to you all now than there was for me back then. But there is also more to it than what you see. But I'm going to go ahead and yield the floor.
Okay.
Thank you for questions.
All right.
So before we introduce Rachel, I want to say that I have the honor of meeting Rachel at our Women's Showcase Fair here at Lone Star College. I don't know if some of you guys got to go over there for the Women's Showcase, but I loved her story. I loved her energy. And again, she is an alumni of Lone Star, but what I do share with students, because she's also an entrepreneur, I explain to some students, transfer may not be where you want to go, and that's okay. My oldest, who started, she graduated from high school, went to Prairie View. Some things kind of happened. She left Prairie View. She kind of comes to Lone Star CyFair classes here and there. Found a job working with autistic kids, and she's doing a great job. And so she kind of became her own entrepreneur because she kind of creates things that certain facilities can use. I knew that college, that arena for her was not her in. So it's okay if you get to that part and you're like, you know what? Right now I want to explore. And usually parents cringe when I say that, but when you look at today's society, when you look at where the future is going, college isn't for everyone, and that's just what it is. So be okay if you say to yourself, right now I kind of want to explore and I don't want to transfer, but then kind of what my journey looks like. So meeting Rachel was amazing because to hear her story, and she's going to share her story with you, my oldest was the same. So sometimes I get students who come in with their parents and they're like, I don't want to transfer, but my parents want me to. And I have to explain to parents, again, When you look at failing rates or putting somebody into something that's not gonna motivate them and push them through, their end result and their end goal is not gonna be successful. So being successful is choosing what your journey is and your path and what makes you smile and enlighten and wanna put that extra grit into what it is that you wanna do. So again, when you finally graduate, you may have to ask yourself that question and know that it's okay if at this time it's not transfer.
Right. All right. Thank you. Okay, Rachel Sheffield. All right. Right to your left here. Rachel Sheffield graduated from Lone Star College, Westway Park Technology Center with a certificate in Associate of Applied Science in Visual Communication of Graphic Design. Her entrepreneurial journey in graphic design started week after graduating from college by sharing her portfolio with family and friends on social media. She currently is in her 4th year in business, turning visions into reality at Rachel Designs located in Katy, Texas. Her graphic design and logo development services empower small businesses and entrepreneurs to stand out in a visually saturated market. In the process, she believes in collective growth and aims to uplift everyone as she continues to grow herself. She faced many hurdles during her college years as a transfer student from Washington Community College in Auburn, Michigan. Many of her credits did not transfer, setting her back from graduating as planned. This was very difficult for her, but she encouraged herself to continue on the course she had started. Learning the software for graphic design was also incredibly challenging. It seemed like she wasn't catching on as quickly as many of her peers in the classroom. However, she pushed herself to work harder to understand the material so she could become the best artist as inspired to be. I welcome you, Rachel Sheffield.
I was just reading and listening to my own story. I thank you, Mr. President.
Sure.
It's an honor to be back home as an alumni. As always, I always feel like I'm at home when I'm invited, and I just want to say that it is okay to start your reunion friend and the one that see you, or even whatever your parents have in mind. My journey started really different from a lot of people. I am a product of a GED student. I am originally from Utah, Alabama. The graduation as a high school student did not plan out as well. I happened to be in a private program, was not accredited to the point where the original college I wanted to attend was not accepting me unless I was able to score higher in the SAT scores or get my GED. So I decided, well, one way to skin a cat. I'm passionate about education, so once I figured out that was the solution, I took the time to figure out what to do in order to earn my GED certificate. With that being said, I did decide to leave home. It's a great idea to leave home, especially when you have family and friends. It gets you out of the environment. You get to explore more, you get to learn, connect with other people, but always have home in your heart. And I did. I was the valedictorian of the class when I was originally supposed to be in Alabama. So, sometimes how we envision valedictorian in this class. So, delivered to speak, and a year later I did start my career journey. So, my career journey started way when I was on punishment at the age of 13. So, curiosity literally started my journey. I was always a person that loved to play sports, very tomboyish, so I didn't have time to sit down. It's too much to sit down, if that makes sense. So I was on punishment, and I happened to be just observant of my room. My sister, she's an interior designer, I'm a graphic designer, but we both are artists. And my mom is artistic, she is too, and I was just like, you can have Nintendos and games at the time, you gotta really sit with yourself. And that was totally hard for me because, I'm so used to moving around, so used to playing sports and all of that good things. So I remember getting a sketchbook prior to being on punishment, and I just looking around, I'm like, I wonder do I have to get like my sister? And sure enough, I literally was able to draw my first cartoon character, which was SpongeBob. And being that I was on punishment, I was like, okay, let me find something else. I drew Dora Explorer, Scooby-Doo. But at that time, I was just so ecstatic about the the end result. So I didn't know what graphic design was, so grateful there are advisors and someone that you consult with to find out, okay, I'm a curious person. Every time I drive down the road, I'm like, how did they get that billboard to look like this? What did they do to do this and that? So that's curiosity. You don't know the actual career it is, but you know what you want. So I started my career at Washington Community College. My lifestyle was not lining up with my career. So I wanted to move back down south, but not back home. My sister looked up Lone Star College-CyFair, and she said, this is like the 10th college in America that is like really top notch. And I said, well, okay. I worked in a college rank like that. You know, I didn't know anything about college transfer, or let me find out with some of my credits transfer, would it step me back? I was just ready to move. So, you know, I transferred, I got to the advisor room, and I think they said 10 or 11 credits was not transferable. I could have fell out. But then, like, make a decision, like, do I want to take a halt? Because at this point, I'm burnt out from college, I'm burnt out from GED. It just feel like I've just been learning. Which is not a bad thing, but when your mind is tired, you cannot maintain or study effectively. I started a journey, and I always say I gotta finish. I don't know how. Sometimes you gotta take a break, which I did take multiple breaks in between transfer and things like that. Thank you. And with that being said, I had a difficult journey as a graphic designer because it's different to learn the software as Adobe Suites when you are a PC user. I was used to PC, and then I was like, oh my God, what is Apple? It's different. And I look to my right, I look to my left, I'm like, yeah, so here, like I could not even draw a square. I'm used to a sketchbook. So that's discouraging when you see your classmate like drew a house in 15 minutes. What is a house on a screen? You know what I mean? So Professor Anthony, he was so amazing and very encouraging along the way. And when I saw, I say go home and I will go on YouTube, I will learn. Because I realized can I fail these classes? I only took one W, and that was because I lost my flash drive. That was before I transferred, so I had one W. But that was actually okay. Sometimes you got to take a L. Take an L, but don't give up. I took an L, and like I said, I'm not gonna let, and it was through midterm. You know about midterm, you can pretty much take an L or put an F on your transcript. So I didn't want that. I'd rather take a W than an F. You know, you sometimes gotta just make that rational decision and be okay with it. And with that being said, just being okay with that, oh, your credits wasn't there, let's move on. And sometimes that's what's gonna keep you motivated. The mistakes and the setbacks is what's gonna encourage you more than your mama patting you on the back. So sometimes that's what you have to do is encourage yourself. There's a song that says sometimes you have to encourage yourself. And that's what I did along my 7 years of learning, which was so mentally draining, but hey, when you look around and find out that your sister done it, or you know your mom didn't do it, I'm gonna do it for my mom, my parents. That's what keep you going. So look within, find the hurdles that cause you to feel like you just want to give up. That's what you remind yourself moving forward. So with that being said, I did graduate during the pandemic, 2020. Here we go, another time that I did not graduate the way I wanted to. We did not return back to school during spring break. It was cute when we celebrated. We got 2 weeks of spring break. But then when we got back home and when that reality hit, I'm a in-person learner. So, you know, again, the softwares, the code and all, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna graduate. But I had to stay up, and let's talk about food poisoning, final week in school. More things to just continue to feel like, okay, I'm gonna get them out, just try again. I knew I did not want to pick no more classes. So I'm telling you, I will be up all night. And that's not good for somebody who's really sick. So I'm grateful that God was with me during the time that my body was shutting down. When your body shuts down, you mentally cannot even focus. I literally would be up 3 a.m. Sometimes I would take a nap and be back up at 5. Do it all back over. The industry of graphic design is just really nothing to play with because it's just so much mental space that you have to be in order to be an innovator. You have to have a creative space and things. So these are all the hurdles that are not mentioned on the screen here today, but the in-between is what kept me going, where, okay, if God could take me from getting my GED on time or my high school diploma or being able to not take 11 credits on with me to down south. You know, these are things that if God can take me to point A, point B. So I did graduate. I earned my certificate in Associate in Applied Science, and they had told us maybe a week before that we wasn't gonna have a ceremony. Scores of the grades was not posted, and I'm just stressed, I'm sick, and I'm just depressed because obviously you hyped about all of this. You've been told social media for the second time, and I'm like, I didn't post it on social media to come to this party, and you gotta go back and backtrack and tell people it's postponed. That's heartbreaking and kind of disappointing. And you know, you have to do it. You have to encourage yourself to tell the people about the life situation. So everyone was very supportive. And those 2 weeks of me finding out whether I graduated or not, I was like, I gotta really do something about my thoughts of land here. So I thought to myself, hey, for these 2 weeks that I'm waiting to graduate, how about I just create my social media page and put all of my designs on social media and just hide the page until I officially graduate, because I didn't want to embarrass myself again. So I said, once I figure out that I graduate, I'm just gonna share with my family's friends what all I have done over the 7 years of being a graphic designer here at Lone Star and Washington Community College. So I learned that I graduated, and I just was sending out the link. And one of my friends that I worked with at the time at Crack Barrel was a server during the time of my career and a student at Lone Star. So that was a great deal. When you're a server, they're very, very flexible. It's icing on the cake during my career. Still make money and still learn at the same time. It's good, like she said, to know people, be friendly. You never know when they're gonna need you or when they're gonna give you your first opportunity. You just never know who in the room is gonna give you your first opportunity. And like I said, I literally would just share my social media page, showing my degree, did not come in and like, I hope I get a client tonight. I wanted to start my career 2 years after being a part of a graphic design team in the industry, so I can get that real world experience. So when I come back, because I always had a dream that I wanted to start my own business with my sister. So I knew I needed to get some real world experience. So that night, the young lady that I used to work with as a server said, do you do invitations and birthday banners? And I was like, I didn't immediately say yes, because I'm like, if I say this, I don't know how to price out none of my designs. I don't know my overhead, and I'm all in my thoughts. I'm like, well, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. And everything that I was thinking of and dreaming of back when I was 13 was all facing like, do we make lemonade out of this decision? Do we shy away from this situation? Do we just not respond and like she didn't to get the proposal? This is all a real life situation slapping me in the face, and I had to make a decision whether I'm ready, because you know you better than anybody else. Are you really ready? Somebody can tell you all day long and whatnot. So I'm gonna wrap it up here and say that I told myself I'm ready, and I said I'll keep in mind if whatever mistakes I make with her, at least I could learn how to price it out. The next time I'll know how to deal with a real world client on my own, and I'm just gonna take it from him. So May 15, 2024, we're talking about 4 years in business here in the state of Texas.
So there you have it. I mean, all these testimonies, you know, got a testimony here. Prioritize. You know, David talked about, you know, prioritizing everything, how to prioritize your life in regards to like school and work and work-life balance. Perseverance, right? Go get it by all means necessary. You know what I mean? Perseverance and endurance. You know, being sick, you know, trying to get things done at night, and you know, you're tired, and you know, and being let down, and you gotta learn how to uplift yourself and keep going. Movement, motion, right? So let's give it up for our panelists. Right now, I'm gonna turn it over to Ms. Flo, and I'm just gonna open up for questions now. Okay.
So I love to put quotes. I'm an affirmation type chick. And so I love to put quotes because I love students to, a lot of affirmations is what is needed. And again, this speaks volumes. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. And this person is gonna be embarrassed, but I don't care. So Erica in the back, she is now our part-time specialist, but I used to be the manager of TRIO. So what TRIO is saying, spot on. So TRIO is a program for first-generation students that really struggle to find their way, to get through college. And so TRIO is a program, we go hand in hand in making sure that the students, they start with us and they end with us. But Erica was a part of my TRIO program, and she was my student. And how she started, same. She tried to give up 50,000 times, but as her advisor, I I said that if you want. We will kick, scream, and cry together, but you're going to make it to the end. If graduating with your associate is it, I'm good with that. But you finish what you start. And so it took us some time, but she finished what she started. So again, commend her. And then again, right? Because then now I know that she's kind of ready. She reaches out, and I'm like, hey, come up to Lone Star. Great place. You have an opportunity. Let's work on building you even more wherever that takes you. So again, the same to you guys. So you got this. Put it in action. So now we're opening it up for questions. Any questions?
Can I say something quick, if you don't mind? So this is just, one of the events that we have, once or twice a semester. We want to also encourage you to come out to our transfer fairs, y'all. Come out to the transfer fairs. This is like, we're talking, it's just an intimate session. Y'all can ask anything you want in regards to transferring or university I went to, anything like that, Florida, anyone here. But come out to one of our transfer fairs. This is for you guys. We bring out like 20 to 30 colleges. We just had a big one. Come out and talk to them. So if you ever see us out walking around, tag us, pull our shirt tail, we'll stop and answer your questions or anything like that. That goes for David as well. David also, he's an advisor here. And so, we're here to answer your questions. Okay? Questions?
I guess this is for all three panelists. What are some of the resources that help you during and after the transfer process?
Some resources that helped a lot was like transfer events, like that. I worked a lot, so I missed a lot of things, activities that are happening on campus. Get involved at CyFair. You'll be surprised that so many things that this awesome college offers that will prepare you for the transfer process much smoother than what I went through, okay? So definitely visit the transfer center, talk to Fred. He's here, he's a great guy. Cynthia as well. Miss Flo, she's awesome too. And yeah, just visit with your advisors. There you go. Visit with your advisors. Your advisors are the key to keep you aligned of what you need to complete on your
best
path.
friend.
Okay?
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I'm gonna get in on this too because I'm a former advisor, not only for Lone Star, but for UHD. So let me tell y'all this as well, especially if you're thinking about transferring. It's good to go see your advisor, especially if you have a transfer advisor, they're not one and the same, because you need to know what the degree, ideally, right? You know what you're thinking about going for. Okay, a lot of these schools, a lot of these programs have what you call pathways now. And so a lot of schools are partnering with Lone Star College, including Southern Illinois University. Be that as it may, it's gonna help you to know. Because let's say you're taking classes on your own, like I don't need to do that. I know I'm just getting, I just need to do a life and physical science. Okay, cool. But what happens when you decide that you're gonna major in early childhood education and you think that, you can get away with taking this particular class, and then when you look at it, when you use UHD as for an example, they say, oh, that's great. Maybe we can count that towards an elective, but you actually need this particular science class. And you're like, wait a minute, I just had blood, sweat, and tears making whatever grade I made in Lone Star. You need to tell me that that doesn't directly transfer to my major, but it counts somewhere else. You're gonna be mad. So, and oftentimes the classes are gonna be synonymous. So you can line up, and that's what your advisors are gonna do. They're gonna make sure that the courses you're taking satisfy not only Lone Star, but whatever the other institution is that you're thinking about transferring to. So you don't find yourself spending more money and spending more time doing a class that you could have knocked out right here. So something to think about. So again, I'm very much a very vocal supporter of your advisor. I want to get that. What are you gonna say, Chris?
I was going to say, just figure what Trina was saying, major requirements. So you may be in an AA or AS getting your core done, but when it's time to transfer into your major, whether it's engineering or business, those college universities, they have what they call major requirements. So you gotta make sure you meet those major requirements to get into that college of business, that college of engineering. Not just a basic, your AAAS, that's fine. That'll get you in the door at that university. But if you want to study some of that particular university, you got to meet those major requirements. And advisors are here, and myself, I'm a transfer advisor, along with David and everyone else here. We can help you figure that out.
Yes.
It's for sure, advisor is your best friend. Me as a student, I always had a checkoff list. I'm just like the first lady, Michelle, we'll check off, what we saying, box checker. And like I said, the others are saying here today, write it on your forehead, whatever you need to do, and print it out. If you print it out and it's in your face 7 days a week, and you know that this box needs to be checked off, you're gonna be more of a reassurance type of student. And sometimes if one semester is over with, before the semester over with, always just check in maybe every month. Hey, do a check and balance with your advisor. If you're that person that feels like I'm off track, let me find someone. So that would be the best friend.
I just want to just highlight this person real quick, real fast. Now don't get it twisted. Dream right here, she belongs to Southern Illinois University. That's a major D1 school. That's where she works. She's a recruiter. She does everything, you know, in regards to Southern Illinois University. So this is straight coming from a D1 school that, you know, she's letting y'all know. So if y'all want to think about transferring someone, get with Ms. Stream afterwards. She can hook y'all up with some information with Southern Illinois University. I had the pleasure of visiting that actual university. She and her team invited me and 14 other advisors down last summer. That school is amazing. They have a lot of different programs. So I just wanted to highlight Ms. Stream on that.
When you had to pay for your college, the college that you transferred to, did the tuitions hold you back a fear of like kind of transferring it? How did you work on it?
Okay, so for me, financial aid was definitely my best friend for sure. So I didn't have any like anxiety about that. And when I was getting ready to quit college for a while, I did get an email that I was a recipient for a scholarship for 2 semesters. So I was honored to earn that just by sharing my story. And you know, you have to submit like a letter of being able to be qualified. And right when I literally was getting ready to quit because I was just so stressed out, not about the money, was just working. Sometimes balancing working in school can be just a whole nother stress level. So with that being said, I literally had enough financial aid to transfer, and then when I did not use the financial aid money, I was able to use my scholarship money. So that never was an issue for me personally.
Okay, absolutely. I was intimidated by that sticker price, okay, because that's the reason why I said, I'm gonna do this private school situation right now, okay? We're gonna go to the state institution. And like I said, Trio told me to send that application to about 10 different schools, and I did. So please believe I was checking every last one of them. Who's gonna give me some money, honey?
Yes.
Okay, so I was looking to see what kind of free money was going to come my way from each school, and that actually played a part of why I also selected the school that I did, because they were offering me a particular scholarship. And I'm gonna tell you this, one of the things that I wish I knew then that I knew now came down to those loans, okay? When you talk about unsubsidized and unsubsidized loans, I know now unsubsidized to me is don't do it, okay? Because there's just some different things that y'all ever do a financial literacy situation, I will definitely come back. But to your point though, I didn't let it stop me. You know what I'm saying? So because, you know, this was the cost, the overall cost of tuition, and what does that look like each semester, it was just really a matter of trying to figure out, okay, so what do I have to do to close the gap? And like I said, there's a lot more opportunities out for you guys now than I had coming through, but it didn't stop me. So just trying to find those scholarships, work study opportunities, and everything I could to kind of close the gap with that tuition. And then of course, just looking for a school that was more of a state institution instead of a private school. Personally for me, was just my choice too, because I knew that, you know, that was just a little bit easier for me than paying the bigger costs for it. So something for me to just, you know, my little tidbit to you.
Yes. When you go to a university, those semesters are nothing like Lone Star at all, okay? So definitely do your research. There are some institutions that will give you some scholarships based on your GPA. So make sure you look at your GPA. Look into the institution that you're planning to apply to. Make sure that this is what I'm going to be paying. This is what I'm going to have. Calculate each semester how long you're going to be in that institution. You don't want to be in a big old, like, house note when you get out of the university, okay? Because pretty much you're going to be starting paying back those loans, okay? Be really well-rounded about what you're borrowing. If you don't need to borrow that much, decline it. You can always decline, okay? You can always decline. But I know that some students are in a situation where I need help at home, I need to do all this and stuff like that. I understand that. But you have to know how to balance the money, because you're gonna pay that money back, okay? You can help at this situation right now, but later on, once you have that job, have that good paying job, you will help more at home, okay? If you guys are still at home, okay?
I say when I got my bachelor's degree, I received financial aid and some scholarships, but it didn't cover everything. So I did have to take on loans. But what I did was, I called the loan people and I said, when can I start paying? Because usually they tell you when you accept a loan, you graduate, 6 months after you graduate, they'll start putting on that tag. So I said, when can I start paying back the loan? Because I had 2 jobs. They said, you can start paying on it now if you want to. So that's what I did. With my job, I put money aside and I would pay on that loan. When it came time to graduate, I only owed them $30. So I tell students,
What?
it is doable, but many students don't know that trick. But if you find the right person to speak to and talk to, it is doable. Because is it scary? Most definitely. Because some students can't even get financial aid. So they have to take on that tag. But I always tell them, right, then figure out what scholarships are available. But that's the little loophole that you can do. You don't have to wait. So I didn't wait. I called that loan company and I said, you can start sending it now. Now this is what I can give you. I can't give you the whole thing. And they were like, fine, we can take it in, because again, we don't really have to take it now anyway. So I was able to just pay on it throughout my semester, get my bachelor's degree. And like I said, when I graduated, I owed them $30. So again, that's another little loophole.
So when it comes to, I was told by a representative of the university, they said, Frederick, listen, the problem that we have is that students don't even apply for scholarships because they assume that they might not get it. But the real is that if nobody applies and you're the only one to apply, guess who's about to get it? You. So just apply. Because if everybody's the same mindset, and you're like, I'm just gonna apply just because, you may be the one that's gonna get it. See what I'm saying? They want to give this money away. They have to give this money away. They have to. So it don't hurt to apply.
What specific things did you all do or like tell yourself to stay motivated, keep yourself doing well with time management and not burning out, like all of those things to take care of yourself with, mentally especially? Because I'm studying nursing and I'm trying to go get my BSN after getting my associate's here. I'm only a freshman, but the financial situation right now is crazy. So I'm trying to plan for that too. But I also work as a volleyball coach on top of playing here as well. And so I don't go to like parties or hang out with friends at all. And it still is a struggle to time manage and like stay disciplined. So what did y'all like tell yourselves or like do specifically to keep yourself on top of schoolwork? Because that's always like the number one priority.
I always tell myself, this will pass, okay? This will pass. This is temporary right now. We just have to picture that. I know I have to do something to better myself. I have to continue what I'm doing. So yes, I had to work full-time. I had to go to school part-time because I had to work about 40 hours a week. It was a struggle. Yes, I stressed myself out. So I had to find something in me to keep me going. Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from. Yeah, you have to work and go to school, but you know, when you get to the nursing, I don't think you'll be working because when you go into one of those programs, it's going to eat all of your time, all of your time. Yeah, right. And definitely those anatomy classes. Oh my gosh, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, yes. But hang in there, don't give up, keep on going, you know what you're doing, find that balance with work and school. This will pass and, you know, see the big picture at the end. See that big picture.
Find your why.
Yeah.
Know your why.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question that I legitimately want an answer to. Right. Anybody else can jump in there. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Night owl.
Okay, cool.
Actually, lately it's like neither.
Okay.
It's like, wow, this is so much that I'm trying to sleep and like catch up. But I'm probably most definitely not an early bird.
Okay, for sure. So that's your biorhythm. You didn't know. So it's when you are your most effective or your best at whatever time of day that looks like. So me personally, I'm an early bird, which comes at sometimes at 3 or 5 a.m., just depending on. And so here's what I'm saying. Reason I'm saying that is because it helps make a difference. At least for me, it did when it came to when I need to take certain classes. Because like I told you, your girl struggles with math, but I'm my best self in the morning. So I started taking my math classes in the morning, and it's just like I hate math, but I'm my best in the morning. So I was kind of able to digest it a little bit better. And same thing when it came to like studying and just finding that time. I could get up before I had class, and that was just me because I was up anyway. Like I'll go ahead and start looking at some of these problems, and I found that I was able to focus and concentrate just a little bit better. So for anybody, I'm going to encourage you to figure out your biorhythm, even if it changes, and try and operate in that time as best you can, because I think you'll be surprised that it makes a difference. And then going back to the balance that you spoke about, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Like I was a person who quite enjoyed the turn up when I could. And so part of my reward, whether it was turning up or I was just talking to Rachel here a minute ago. Your girl loves I like nothing but cakes. Okay, so that was my treat. It was like if I can get so far with something that I'm doing, I'm gonna reward myself with either a bundt cake or I'm gonna go and have a little fun with my friends later, however that looks. So while I'm not trying to tell you to say go out here and live your best life and turn up and do whatever, I do think that it's important to find some kind of balance, even if it's just as simple as rewarding yourself with something that a bundt cake, or I don't know what that looks like for you, but something that is reasonable for you. So biorhythm, time of day, early bird, night out, function in that, and reward yourself with little things if you can help it.
Better days are coming. That's what I did. I always sung. I always sing, have a good playlist, and look towards someone that you can admire on your journey. I love First Lady Michelle Obama. That is my friend, that's my internet mom. I hope she hear me somewhere in there. So find your inspiration within your environment. I love music, I love to sing. I'm not a singer, I'm not gonna even drop my EP tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But I am a singer, I love to sing and I love music. Find affirmation, very big on that. And write sticky notes, put it in front of you. And sometimes you have to make a sacrifice because better days are coming. I'm living in my better days, and I always was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna get there. I can't party with my friends. I can't do this. So better days will come. You have to take care of you in the process. 5 o'clock, I'm an entrepreneur. If you ain't called me by 4:30, 4:45, babe, I'm gonna talk to you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And you gotta stick to it because there are people who feel like you should dance to their music when they're ready. But I told you within this time frame, I'm available. Sometimes it seems harsh, but the more you exercise those boundaries for yourself, they can respect you. Like, oh, I know, Rachel, I ain't gonna do this, ain't gonna do that. And then it takes practice. If you can just give yourself 7 days to practice on one thing at a time, 21 days can make a habit. So whatever that is, I'm a night owl and I'm an early bird. So if I know I have a task before me, I'm gonna start that night because my creativity starts the night I got my jam. Very nosy and stuff, I love the blogger and things like that. So I know I don't want people to know I'm online in the morning time. So I get my work done in the morning time. So by 9 o'clock, I'm gonna be on social media. So figure out what you like to do and what you don't want people to do, and then start writing it down and meet those criteria. That's what's gonna help you stay balanced on this long journey ahead. And it's gonna be better days.
Like you were saying about making connections, I feel like me personally, I can be very extroverted and very introverted at the same time. Like it's very divergent. But like there are certain spaces I'll be in, certain people where I obviously don't even feel like the need to speak. But I also have ADHD and my mind is constantly like I'm thinking about 1,000 things in a second. So how did you guys like personally, go out there, put yourself out there to like make connections, not just with your peers, but like people older than you that know more than you, may not know more than you, but just like have experienced more than you have to gain that knowledge and just open up more avenues.
I'm an introvert. I like my own time. I like to reconnect with myself. But my job, I have to be an extrovert. I have to connect. I have to work with my students and stuff like that. I have to understand where they're coming from. So having that personal time with yourself, that's really good. You can reconnect with yourself. But for networking, definitely you have the opportunity to go out and start communicating with people. Do it. It's going to take a lot out of you, but hey, that connection, you can make that happen. And that's it's going to open a lot of doors to you. Okay?
Believe it or not, I'm the most introverted extrovert you probably ever meet. Okay, so I don't care to float a room, in a certain situation, but I do believe in positioning in a sense. So to answer your question, what helped me is, like I said, being like in certain jobs or in certain programs like TRIO or different clubs and organizations where people kind of came to me, like, so to speak, where we're just kind of here, then it was okay. It felt more organic to just be like talking to a person. It's just, you make little connections that way instead of just me, going up to somebody and saying, hey, how are you? So who are you? Tell me what you do. That's not really my personality, but it's an opportunity. We're just sitting here with each other. We're just having a talk. Things come up, and it's okay to ask certain questions if you're comfortable with it, or maybe it comes out from the other person talking to you. So for me, it's not always about like just going out there necessarily, but I position myself to be in situations where conversations can kind of happen. So whether that's through the job that I've had, whether it was a student or employee job, or being in programs like TRIO or participating in organizations, we're all just kind of here and just kind of talking to the person next to me. It just kind of happens that way. That's how I got to know like some of the other staff members here and things of that nature.
My personality is big naturally, so I'm grateful that I'm able to use that to my advantage. Sometimes I am an introvert when it's something going on to a point where like, okay, I don't feel the need to talk. I always been social and outgoing. I feel like in my field, I know how to use it to my advantage and things like that. So connecting with people was always something that I learned to do at the age of 13. I have been an entrepreneur since then because of how I was brought up. So I was trained to work with them. I was trained to approach people. I was trained, so it's in me. I'm naturally that way, and like I said, it's not a big thing for me to do. So to my advantage, I'm grateful that I'm naturally that way. But it's called balance. When you learn where you have to play your position, learn yourself, know what you're able to do, and just go for it. Sometimes you gotta go out there, and by me being an entrepreneur and putting myself out on social media all the time, opportunities like this come up all the time. I'm getting booked all the time for something because of my personality. I don't know who's watching me, so I carry myself in a way, whether I'm business, casual, whatever the case may be, I'm gonna fit where I need to be. Today you want me to say, okay, I'm gonna take that head off and do what I need to do. To learn yourself what you're capable of doing, to where if you in a room, I know how to read the room, and I'm a personality.
And I'm just gonna say also, thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Trina, David. I was gonna say, I'm not an introvert. I'm extrovert.
No.
I'm out there. No, I mean, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? I ADHD as well. Vice versa. But anyway, I know I just got to say that, but I'm just saying. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, play it to your advantage. You got to set yourself and put yourself in a position where you got to be around people that share the same likeness and and ideas that you have, right? And so once you surround yourself with people like that, then you're gonna know when to let that extrovert out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna create a platform for you to like, you'll feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's your name? So computer engineer. Okay. So engineering. Yeah. You can talk a lot. So, but you're gonna know when. Let that out. Introvert when you're trying to get things done, and this, that, and that, you need that, that concentration there. Extrovert, you're trying to explain what it is that you've done. And you gotta put yourself in that platform to where you gotta explain, different things in engineering. That's your extrovert side. You gotta know how to play both sides. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. So go ahead.
Okay, so I am a guest too, but I'm an educator. So I just have to say this. I'm in education. This is my 30th year. And what I want to say to you is, know who you are. That's number one. Know who you are, know what you can handle, know what you cannot handle. Accountability is huge. If you don't have accountability, you're gonna run into some roadblocks, okay? And I'm like her, the checkbox, this is my friend.
Reminder. Oh,
Reminder, look that.
Oh, yeah.
Everything, and I'm in the bed, that night. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Let me add this, let me add this.
Yes. Have the tools right there with
You
you.
have to plan. If you don't plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah.
And that's just, I'm just being honest with you.
And that's real going to university, man.
You have to learn how to compartmentalize things, know your schedule. Your friends are your friends, but guess what? You can't do what your friends do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you in this nursing, I know how they.
I was
Trust
on
me.
main campus last semester, and it was so difficult, so like unprepared, because I didn't even think I was going to like graduate from high school, and so it was just a really huge shift. That's why I came here. But coming here has actually taught me a lot. But I'm like, even though I'm a freshman, still just finishing out my freshman year, I want to be prepared for planning, like, so I already know what I need to do next year.
Exactly.
Man, I'm gonna say this, y'all, man. I know.
And burnout is real.
Yes.
Burnout comes from not planning. If you plan, you'll be okay. You know my big thing. Spring break came, he's like, what you doing? Oh, I'm planning every day, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something every day.
She's definitely.
I'm that type of person. So if you plan, you're gonna be okay.
Yes.
Okay? That's
So
okay.
So I'm saying everybody in this room is smarter than me. Real talk. You know? Because let me just get real quick, my little small testimony just to encourage somebody. I was listening to you. You know, you guys smarter than me. Yeah, y'all was in high school, y'all, you know, went to class and all that. When I was in high school, man, I skipped class almost all the time. Right? So if you told the 9th grade, I'm just talking about the 9th grade friend, that hey, listen, in your 12th grade year, dude, you're gonna get a scholarship to go to Birmingham, and you're gonna say this and that. I was like, what? I would have said, what? I skip school every day. I'm hanging out with my third friend, we shoot dice, we doing all this, we ain't going to class, and I'm just being real, right? But fast forward, look at where I am now. If you would have told that 9th grader where I'd be right now, I would be like, you got to be kidding. That kid, that's not gonna be me at all. That's not gonna be me 3 years, and as a senior getting a scholarship to go to college? You're kidding, right? No. But to answer your question earlier, how do you balance it? You gotta find your why. She was living in college, met my wife in college. She'll tell you, man, I wasn't book smart, but I was in criminal justice as far as law. So I would come in the library, have law books everywhere. You understand? So it's about how you gonna get it, how you gonna run it back. See, I'm from the hood for real. I'm from Fort Worth. So I'm from Funky Town, they call Funky Town, for real. You know what I'm saying? So to go to college and be where I am now, to run it back like that, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta have your why. I couldn't go back to the hood. That was my why. I couldn't go back to the partners I used to be with and hang with because they want something else, they'll get me somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? So whatever your why is, you gotta find it. If it's for your unborn kids to have a better future, you gotta go get it. You gotta throw their ball off, you gotta catch it and run it back for real. And when you get to the university, man, you gotta be, like Ms. Phil said, you gotta be organized, task oriented. I'm a night owl, period. I'm an entrepreneur as well. I'm late for a board meeting right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be here so I can share that with y'all. Man, y'all are way smarter than I was. For real. Y'all can get it. You're an engineer, man. Come on, nursing? You kidding me? Come on.
Thanks,
You know?
Thank
Thank y'all for coming. And the rest of them say, and good night.
Good night.
And that is the end of the show. Thanks for watching.